sprint competition. Jay Vine, stage 1 and King of the Mountains. It looks like Lysenko will win the general classification, and you know, Borov had their 2 riders up there in the general classification, plus their stage 1 first and second with Nico Dines and Matt Walsh, so which leaves a lot of teams having nothing.
Indeed. Well, the old cobbled hill, that was the final in multiple occasions, 2019, 18, 17, 16, 15. Don't worry, I'm not going to carry on counting down to 0. 0 was a long time ago. This is the Jan Kamani Mosque on the Golden Horn, the shores of the Golden Horn, but just look at that. There's plenty of them. Wait till you start seeing the multi-minarets, and there are many of them, aren't there, in this part of the world. It is quite remarkable. You see the little pilgrims courses as well. Yeah, we got a technical final today, but we've had more traditional sprint finishes in the past. Mark Cavendish won the more traditional one, of course, back in 2014, beating Viviani. That's Elia Viviani and Andrea Gardini back then. Marcel Kittel beat Gardini and Andrew Fenn the year prior, so at 2013. In 2012, it was Theo Bos was the fastest, defeating Fenn and Van Dijk, I think it was, back in the day. So anyway, we're back to that. There is still a little bit of a kicker, and in fact we've got a slight rise, around about 3%, when we leave the circuit with a soft right-hander with 1,800 metres to go. So we're playing with the circuit, but we will peel away for it for our finale, Brian.
Yeah, we will. It's just that last little bit. So we've got roughly about kind of 3 laps, and then, like you say, peel away and then go up towards the finish.
Peel away? That's not like Peely Wally.
Peely Wally.
That means not feeling too good.
Yeah, looking a bit Peely Wally, looking a bit kind of white and unnourished.
Pale and unwell. Peely Wally. I don't know why I'm translating for everybody, but anyway. That's for Scottish roots. 2:21. And drink anybody? No. They've been well served by the cars, so none required for these guys. If they do take one, it's just for convenience and possibly a shower. Weather's been glorious, but there was a danger that it could have been an absolute washout. That's what we had, although they did race it in the Tour of Istanbul, which precluded this race. He's had enough. He said, "You've got to be kidding me." That was Jakob Morias. I think he was going for last man standing today, but no combativity award. He's thinking, I think I'm just about done with this. Verwilt and Vine will race on, and they do. That's the viaduct yet again. We're on our circuit to bring us home. It's a great race, this, Brian. I'm glad that they managed to accommodate it after a move in the calendar.
Yeah, it's not easy at all. I was just looking at the other sports that are on, because normally with the big football matches and things like that, this city just there's people everywhere, you know, going about their daily business, but also, you know, going to sporting venues, and that's why often we start early. I just had a clock going, and that is 20 odd seconds now, but 28 seconds to the front of the race, so it's come back from a minute the last time, Carlton. But yeah, just looking at the football, I believe that there's some European qualifiers with the Turkey national team today. I think they're playing Latvia or something like that, so I'm not too sure if there's any of the club teams playing today.
Scotland are looking all right, Brian.
They look tremendous. Just don't talk about Dutch referees.
No, I wouldn't dare do that. Or indeed VAR or anything else.
I love the Dutch, but that referee against Spain.
Brian is a man who does carry a grudge. I can vouch for that. I don't know what I did all those years ago, but Vine and Verwilt still going for it. Good day for Verwilt. I must say, the team car, when they came up, I've never seen the minor sprints competition so roundly applauded. They really loved the fact that they're going to be on the podium with some big names. Jay Vine will be picking up his Mountains jersey. Jesper Philipsen will be picking up his points jersey. Alex Ilitsenko will be picking up the overall classification. So UAE, Alpecin, Astana, Bora will be getting the team competition, I believe. And, of course, Tartaletto Isorex will be up there to pick up the Treasures of Turkey jersey as well. It's worth getting up there, Brian, for a small team that's big beans.
It's not often you get that in races, and we comment a lot of the time about concentrating in the first kind of 3 stages and getting yourself almost an unassailable lead, and then it puts everybody else off. This is completely opposite. I think, I'm not too sure even Tartaletto were interested in that competition. Okay, if they were in the break, they would have definitely looked at it, but that effort yesterday by Verwild taking it, and then that opened the door to, oh wow, we're on 5, we're close. You know, it's not as if anybody's is taking 2 sprints, everybody's taking kind of 1, and then the others have got other points by not winning, of course, but taking some other points, and it's been very, very close competition. Even it's easier in a 3-week Grand Tour. This riders that have won King of the Mountains by not even scoring a point in the first week. I remember a race where I won a King of the Mountains competition. I think it was an 8-day race, and I never scored any points for 4 days, and then scored them all in the back end and won that competition. So it's not often that these things happen.
It isn't. Big approach pace at the moment by everybody. It isn't that common that a competition can open itself up so late, because, as you quite rightly said, there's usually 1 or 2 riders that are duking it out, and everyone else it sort of sits in their wake, and they're the ones who've been busy right from the very beginning. But to make a steal like this late on is something to be applauded. Amaro Verwild and indeed Tartaletto Isorex have done a great job making us talk about it. That's Mark Cavendish just tucked in there, number 32. He's tucked in behind Oscar Reisebeek, who is working, of course, for Jesper Philipsen and the green jersey. I haven't seen much of him today, but he has been sort of knocking around as we pass by the great terminus for some of these rather impressive powered catamaran. I used to take one over to France, to be honest, and it was a bit of a hard ride, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, the yaw of it. Anyway, back to these two. They're holding about 20 seconds at the moment, as far as I can gather. Would be nice if we could strip out the total clock here and give ourselves an indication of how many kilometres to go. But, you know, we're on a circuit, and we will... I don't know if they'll give us a bell, actually, because the last part of the circuit is unique, so they might not. We'll see. About 2.5 hours in the saddle. No easy task at the end of a season, Brian. And for some of the smaller teams here, this will have been a difficult race.
Yeah, not easy at all. Grippy roads. Babadag, probably the hardest climb that I would say all of these riders have ridden up in their careers.
Hiding's nothing here for Jay Vine, but yesterday he was so committed. We saw this with Nico Dens, actually. He was alone, don't forget, on stage 4, and then came to take a breakaway win into Bodrum. And Jay Vine has made a nuisance of himself quite a few times in this race. The tummy trouble he had, Brian, left him very quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, normally in a race it takes quite a few days. You know, I've had it in the Tour of Langkawi, and you know, put me pretty on the back foot for the whole race. Just looking at the riders here at the front, they're trying to work out what's happening. They've just been shown 2 laps to go, I think it was Tsaritsa said, do we go down there and then back over and then back up? Yes, you do. That's what you, in that part of the circuit, we come down and we swing off to the right and then cut over the road to the other side and then up towards the finish. But yeah, but he's recovered very well from having a dicky tummy. So that's good to see coming out this race with that, because you know you can get over it in a longer race, but this is only a kind of week-long race.
It is. Well, a bit of pace about us, and of course it's a tailwind at the moment. Got a little bit of winds just blowing up. In fact, we're reasonably close to where we used to make our cut, and head up for a little bit of a technical finale. We do have a technical finale today, but it is not the kind of puncher final that we've had. And the late afternoon, well, the early afternoon I should say, fracturing of the light upon the Bosphorus here is absolutely beautiful. So bring it in, bring it home. I'm surprised they're hanging out here, Brian, to be honest.
Yeah, they're trying hard. They've been trying hard all stage, and I wouldn't think anything other than that from these two riders. This man here is taking a competition. This man here has got a competition, and you know they're totally committed to this. We saw it yesterday with Jay Vine. He's got the form. You know, he wants to just go, you know, really deep and try and kind of hold off this peloton. Going to be very, very difficult now. The gap's still hovering around about the kind of 30-second mark. That's all they've been given. So yeah, we're inside the kind of last 2 laps here. Add on, you know, another 2-3 kilometres up towards the finishing line. We've gone through the 25 to go not that long ago, so it looks as if we are inside or close to 20 kilometres to go now, Carlton.
Well, thanks to Bobby Traxel, as this man, Mauro Verwilt, has done his job. It leaves Jay Vine, as cheeky as you like, pushing on. Jay Vine yesterday roared across the line, and I think it was quite a cathartic moment. He was clearly driven on by anger. Right now, he's going to go for it, Brian.
Yeah, didn't think anything other than that. You know, he's had the help of 2 riders. Murias went in the previous lap. Verwilt is just gone. You know, they're giving everything. Verwilt can be happy that he's got a competition jersey in the Treasures of Turkey white jersey, but Jay Vine is just going to go all in here.
He is head down and going for it. And here is Verwilt just about to be collected, in the same way, of course, as Jakob Murias from Voster ATS was collected, leaving just Jay Vine up and out front. Absolute de Koenig did not want anything silly to happen. It's a modest margin, as you can see. He's making his talk about him. There he is, just taking the turn up ahead, a left-hander to go down towards the tunnel. That's Jay Vine. 20 k's to go, and it is now countdown time. I can tell you, in the last 1800 metres of this stage, it is quite technical. And after liaison with the riders, the commissaires panel has decided to to listen to the team managers and everybody else, because there are so many twists and turns. Brian and I have been a bit worried about it. They're going to take the time for the general classification at the 3 kilometres to go marker before the finish. So no time bonuses are going to be given on the finish line. So Alexei Lysenko basically just needs to finish the race, because there will be no time bonuses. They're going to take the day's finish time with 3 kilometres to go. That seems sensible, doesn't it?
It is. It's that you can see the commissaires were showing the number out there of the laps to go. That's the point it will be taken. Just as they swing right to swing left again, and then we're into the kind of technical nature of the run in towards the finish.
Just over 2.5 hours in the saddle and back upstairs, and indeed the beautiful gardens, and indeed the Blue Mosque is here. It's the primary mosque of the city. It's an amazing place and a beautiful place to go and visit, I can tell you. Welcome back. We've just sailed by the Blue Mosque. I'm sure we'll be seeing it again in a short while. This man has sailed off on his own. It's Jay Vine. Mauro Verwilt, now that he's got the Treasures of Turkey jersey, decided to back into the pack, which has stayed motivated. Mark Cavendish has done a lot of the chasing since we've been in town here. The commissaires, for some of you who've been away, a panel have decided that after talking to the riders and indeed the team managers, that because it's such a technical finale, the last 1800 metres, it's not part of our circuit. We do peel off to take it. There's so many corners. I think there's about 6 corners within the last sort of 1800 metres or so that are very, very focused. 3 in the last 700 metres. They've decided to take the time for the general individual classification with 3 kilometres to go. So no time bonuses will be given at the finish line. It's a stage win up for grabs and of course points as well. So Jasper Philipsen will be very interested in that. Just been taking flight, of course, as we do, over the great city of Istanbul. And this man flew the coop very early on. In fact, he's done it on a couple of days. Got himself a stage win yesterday. And Jay Vine, it's a question of what might have been for him. I think if he hadn't got a tummy upset in the day to Babadag that Alexei Lutsenko took so emphatically, I think Jay Vine possibly would have been the only man to match him, but a tummy upset that did clear up is now cleared off, thank goodness. Mark Cavendish, mouth agape, basking shark styly here, and indeed he is absolutely killing off this gap to Jay Vine, and it should tee up nice finish for Astana, Kazakhstan today. Whether or not Gleb Zvitzer will go for it today, I think Case Boll might actually have some options. He's a big man. There are some twists and turns. Twists and turns did for Jasper Philipsen on another stage he could have won. When Dents won it for Bora Hansgrohe, it also hampered Matt Walls that day. Matt Walls has got a chance as well of it delivering. This is the Blue Mosque, the Sule Manaya Mosque that overlooks the city. In fact, there are many a mosque here. Absolutely gorgeous with that spectacular geometric designs that they have within them. So, bring it in, Brian, why don't we?
Yeah, just looking at the front of the peloton, and pretty much all day, right from the start, Mark Cavendish has been doing a lot of work. But Gleb Zvitzer also up towards the front. I really do think that, for me, the top 3 sprinters in this type of finish would be Cees Bol. Jasper Philipsen is my favourite, and let's not forget Kolnagi of Green Project Bardiani.
Indeed, he's had some very, very good runs, hasn't he, Kolnagi? He's in the green jersey for a few days as well, Brian. He's not to be ignored.
Yeah, he lost out yesterday in the sprint. He was caught a little bit too far behind that crash, and the result stood. I thought they might have kind of given everybody the same time, but they didn't yesterday. So Lutsenko going into this stage with a few more seconds than he initially thought.
There are 15 points up for grabs on the line, and Cees Bol of Astana is on 57 points. He's only 5 adrift of Jasper Philipsen, so Alpecin de Koning mustn't let anything silly happen today. Philipsen is wearing the green jersey as they're just about to tag Jay Vine here. Never say die attitude, Jay Vine. It's been great to see him. Also, he's matured dramatically over the last couple of seasons since he really burst into our consciousness out of the Zwift Academy and got his contract, of course, which he used extremely well. Now when we speak to him, Brian, he's like a seasoned pro, but he was very much a kid in a toy shop for a long time, wasn't he?
Yeah, he actually, when you look at his story of what he invested everything into it. He sold everything, right? Came over to live in Europe, left everything behind, and took that big risk. He pretty much a contract of 2 years to try and make it, and he's been successful.
He has. It's a wonderful story. They could make a movie about it, to be fair. Grand Tour wins, stage wins as well to his name, Brian.
Yeah, it's almost a kind of rags to riches story, and not many people would sell up everything. They would still keep a kind of footing at home, but he just sold everything that he had, came over and set up in Europe.
He and his fiancée, Brian, she had as much faith in him as he did in himself as well. It's quite a gamble by the pair of them.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm glad it's paid off.
Me too.
A happy ending.
Indeed. Even Brian's leaden face is just cracking into a gentle smile at the very thought of it. Oh, don't do that anymore. 2 minutes. The mask has fallen. 2 hours and 40 then. He still hasn't given up the ghost of Jay Vine. He will make us talk about him. So then, it is about Astana. Boll versus Philipsen. Colnaghi is in the frame. Timothy Dupont, is pretty handy when it comes to some twists and turns, and he is somebody that we can't ignore. He might well have a dig, and Tarteletto, if they got themselves a stage win to add to, indeed, Mauro Verwildt's Treasures of Turkey jersey, that would just round off a race brilliantly for them. He's actually been going quite strongly as well, Brian.
It does add a lot to the motivation of a team. I can remember giving this information out of a win during a race, a win in another country, and just a nice gesture there from Mark Cavendish. Just it lifts the team definitely.
Here we go. Well, Bikeaid may have missed out on the Treasures of Turkey, but right now they're going to make a nuisance of themselves. Leo Bouvier they've got actually for a sprint finale. I wish I could tell you how close we are to the line, but unfortunately they're not gifting us any graphical information, save for how long they've been in the saddle, which is of no use to man the beast. But anyway, there you go. We wait for the turn, Brian, a gentle one with 1,800 metres to go.
Yeah, we've got to wait a long time for that one, but we're not that far away from where they'll be showing 1 lap to go, and that's where the commissaires and the time will be taken. Good to see that the Turkish champion is moving up towards the front, showing that jersey off yet again. Burak
Abe. It was very quiet at the beginning of the race, but very much livened up to the task, and that's good to see.
So 1 lap to go, Carlton, that was it there.
There we are. So 10 kilometres remaining.
Plus the 3 to the finish.
And there is the communications tower that sits proudly upon one of the hills there, sort of giving it a vaguely artistic twist. And there's a restaurant up there apparently. Don't know whether it spins, but anyway. Don't get yourself a kebab.
Depends how much you drink.
Yeah. Very strong coffee. So they get themselves prepped for the turn, and in fact every single one of the twists and turns here. Alvaro Hodge today, what about him, Brian?
Well, that's what I was thinking about. Jay Vine, would he continue, would he drop back and kind of help Hodge? I'm not too sure this finish will suit him as much as maybe in the past, but the current form probably not. I think you've already kind of mentioned the Philipsen definitely for me, Case Ball, Dupont, Colnaghi are the kind of top 4, but we're starting to see some attacks, and I think this will be the nature of the last few kilometres here. It'll just be one attack after another.
I think that's Yuri Havik by his style. I wouldn't be surprised. He's absolutely flown the coop at the moment. Now this is the sort of acceleration that brings you great reward when you're trying to gain a lap in a points race or indeed a marathon race. Let's see. He has gone. He's not going to get a slingshot from anybody. I suppose you could if you took a sticky bottle of sorts, but anyway, let's see if he manages to make the stick. I'm almost certain this is Yuri Havik. Head down and gone. In fact, it's not.
Well, he's not getting a lap anyway.
He's not. Oh dear. Well, that's a shame for me, to be honest. But the Netherlands are setting their stall out, and I like this, Brian. I said they've been quiet, and they may go loud, and that's what we're seeing.
Yes, one of the riders rides for normally Beat Cycling. It's on the frontier. He went with some pace there, but very difficult to hold on.
I thought it was Roy Efting, to be honest, but we will wait and see in a short while. We'll hopefully get a better view of him. But yeah, I would love to see the likes of the Netherlands actually get loud at the very last, because we've been talking about them being largely made up of track riders who can impose themselves in a velodrome. Got the aero helmet on as well. They mean business, Brian. That's good. That's good. They may well just grab something at the very last here.
Yeah, it was a terrific effort.
Diesel, I think,
looks very good. Just using the motorbike there. Going to be very difficult to stay away just on your own. Trying all the tricks to get a little bit of shelter here and there, but there's still a little bit to go now.
Yep, indeed it is Bram Dissel, and here he goes. Just head down, going for it. If he does take a look back, it may well be between his legs or under his arms in a proper sort of trackies look back. There he is. He has a look right now. That's about keeping your aero and indeed keeping your nose clean out front. At the moment, he's got himself possibly about 100 metres. He's going to just go out of sight, not out of mind, into the tunnel. 9.3 kilometres to go. They've woken up to the threat. Bora involved here. This will be for Matt Walls or Nico Dents, leading Matt Walls, I imagine. A little bit late on. They would very much like another stage win after it was Dents Walls, of course, that finished in Bodrum. Not much sound coming out of those. Let's see how they deliver today. Still with Bram Dissel up the roads. Hopefully we'll get a view of just how much space he's got. I'm loving this, Brian. There he is. He's holding the margin just for the time being, and none of his teammates are anywhere near the fore just for now. No sign of the green jersey either, actually.
No, he'll just be sitting back in the main part of the peloton. That's probably the easy or the most sheltered part of the peloton, but he's going to struggle in this long drag up towards that viaduct because that's coming up imminently.
It is. Clement Alenio from Burgos BH is just making a move up in the plum. I think he's bringing Antonio Angulo up to the fore as well for Burgos BH. We've seen Langelotti actually getting himself launched on occasion, and as you well know, he's had some pretty good results here as well. Victory it was into Selçuk. That was on a climb. Won't well, at least he may well be part of the drag race once we just get this little ramp to deal with, but nothing too serious on the way home today. The old clement weather that bedeviled Istanbul in the Tour of Istanbul, which was in and around the great city just over a week ago, thankfully has stayed away, but the fear of bad weather meant that we've stripped out the technical final, so don't worry about cobbled climbs that we're going to have to deal with. It's not going to happen. But the last 1800 metres are very much demanding today, demanding of our attention, and indeed the safety of the riders has been paramount, and as a result they are not going to take the time individually at the finish line. Mark Cavendish just pulls off. He's done a great job of chasing down and making sure that Bram Dissel does not have too much fun out front here, and everyone else is grinding into this one. Set yourselves up, why don't you? It's time to bring this home, Brian.
Yeah, they have to keep a bit of pace about it. Very important, because as the road starts to rise up to this viaduct, that's where the attacks will come, so they have to keep on riding with some sort of pace to try and stop that. Watch
out for Malicelli. Good in Sicily, good in here in Turkey of course, recently. So yeah, he could go well. Q365 for Moschetti. With Travis Steadman on board as well. And you'll see the South African champion just trying to involve and do his job on behalf of Moschetti. And indeed, it is the titanium colours of Q365 that just start to get a little bit mob-handed here. Also rocking and rolling, Timothy Dupont is just making his way up to the front for Tartaletto. Isorex, you see the yellow with the with indeed the black shoulders coming up. Also, Bignol are here. They are skirmishing for Malucelli, the aforementioned likewise. In fact, I think they might well be the ones that try and boss the front as we get in. So it's going to be a very, very pricey real estate with a lot of interest for it. And Yolo Cometa are coming up as well. This is for Lunardi. They want to get involved. Astana, similar colours for them, just on the other side of the centre line here, left of the centre line, as you can see, almost upon it. And that, of course, is for, I believe, Zritza today, not Gutzoli. Case ball? I don't know. Let's see. He's made a nuisance of himself on more than one occasion. In fact, more I think about it, the more I think it will be case ball today. Let's see. Diving down, nearly there, Brian.
Yeah, I think 100% case ball today. He's shown well in this race, but you know, for the first time today, Astana and Albizin DeConnick losing control of the front of the race, and you know, they've put in a tremendous amount of work now. We're kind of coming off that kind of viaduct, heading down towards the river again, and I think, you know, now we're starting to see a lot of teams trying to get good position.
Timothy Dupont's being dragged up here in good order in the black and yellow on the right-hand side of the road. In the yellow with the red sash, that is Guérin doing a job here. It's on behalf of Malucelli for Bingol, as they take a turn here, just disappearing from our view for the time being. This technical finale, we'll hopefully get a full view on it by the time we get there. Indeed, does start with from about 1,800 metres out. We leave the circuit. Time to light up the afterburners if you've got anything to offer up, and it is Team Medellin that decide that they don't like the pace or would like to set one. Medellin may have lost the Treasures of Turkey jersey. I don't think they've lost the drive in this one as well. Just pulling over the side of the road, pulling away as the train comes through. Yolo Cometa for Giovanni Lunardi working very hard. They have Bavilacqua here and David Martin as well as Mirko Maestri. That's a long lead out for Lunardi. It may pay dividends because positioning is going to count for an awful lot. Case Ball is being guided up. He's slightly freestyle just for the time being. Mixed in there as well is Malucelli from Bingol in the yellow with the red stash. Timothy Dupont, the yellow with the black shoulders, is here as well. And look who's making a nuisance of themselves. Luca Colnaghi for Green Project Bardiani. Doesn't want to be too far off the pace either. You can wait for Matt Walls. Nico Dentz will be doing a good lead-out job for him. For Bora, not there at the moment. Alps into Koenig, waiting for them to impose themselves. They haven't done just yet. But here comes the green jersey. It's just off the left-hand side of your screen. Avara Hodge is up and in position as well. Short-handed team is UAE Team Emirates right now. Doman Novak doing a job for Alvaro as he gets himself centre-lined here. And indeed aligned with Astana Kazakhstan, and there is Bora now just starting to make their way up with Matt Walls and Nico Dentz. Also Jesper Philipsen in the green jersey, very much to hand as we speak. Just losing sight of them for the moment, Brian, but high pace up now, no surprise.
Yeah, Gleb Syriza is the rider for Astana at the front. He's got race leader in the wheel, very important. Just remind everybody that when we get to this turn, which is coming up imminently, that you know, that's when the time will be taken. But I think for Lusenko, he's part of this lead out for Case Ball. They really believe in Case Ball winning. So as soon as we get to that point, race will be over for the general classification. But I think we'll see Lusenko try and kind of help out Case Ball in this finish.
Patrick Stosh, it is Kostanski who's coming up for Voster ATS in the pale green and white, and they're starting to drive this one home. That's Gleb Zritzer, who's just heading off on a flyer here. Is it a catch me if you can job for Gleb? Not quite sure. They're still holding station. There is Case Ball. His nose is in the wind at the moment. It's Gazzoli that comes in front of him, so they're assembling nicely. Case Ball number 31, bottom of your screen, as the boys from Bingo also get themselves up and into position. Zalbi is there. Disengaged is Malucelli. He's trying to fight back in the yellow with the red sash. He's divorced from it at the moment, and I'm afraid it looks like he might be out of position when we make this crucial turn. In a great position is Jasper Philipsen, being brought up at exactly the right time here, Brian.
Yeah, very important to get a good position. We're going to see a bit of a bottleneck, and you can see that the race is on to get that position. It's coming up pretty shortly now. We're going to swing to the right-hand side. The time will be taking the general classification, but it's so important, and this is why Alpecin and DeConnick are pushing hard at the front.
They are. 1,800 metres to go is where this crucial point is going to be. Bingo and Malucelli are in a fantastic position at the moment. The driving's being done by Kenneth Van Rooyen and Alexander Zalbi. They're doing a super job. That's Van Rooyen in the yellow with the sash, looks behind, can't see Malucelli, and here comes your turn. We're going to start dealing with the rest of the day here, Brian.
Yeah, we are. I've got a kind of sense that the green jersey of Philipsen might go from the bottom. We've seen this happen before, going from the bottom, going for the jugular. He's got one rider behind him, he's got one rider in front of him, but there's a lot of riders being caught out here out of position.
There are, and here comes your grind. It's only 3 or 4%, but it's possibly feel like an awful lot more than that. He's in the bird seat at the moment. Jasper Philipsen is not going to be denied. He kicks on here. Moschetti's on his case, but can't get through. Likewise, Giovanni Leonardi. Moschetti does go to the barriers here, waiting for the panic. It hasn't happened just yet. No arms flicked out. Philipsen stays on board, but just can't get the drive past De Gea for the time being. Also coming up here is Alvaro Hodge, and Alvaro Hodge starts to monster it. Alvaro Hodge finds a way through, and there's a twist and turn come here that's going to deny Philipsen, I believe. Hodge kicks on, still can't get round him. Philipsen's on his case. Alvaro Hodge looks like he may well have misgeared momentarily there. Just has a look back, and all he can see is a big green meanie, which is Jasper Philipsen in that green jersey. Leonardi staying with it as well. He's got is he spare-handed? Let's wait and see. Oh, every single turn here is a punishment, and finally, is Case Ball going to get away? Can't see it just for now. We're shrouded, Brian. Oh, yeah. My life.
Case Ball let the wheel go, and Philipsen came round him, so Case Ball was in third place there, but that was a good move there from Case Ball, in prime position on the wheel of the green jersey, but they tried to foil Philipsen, and he was having none of it.
Here we go. He's staying in there. He's in an Astana sandwich at the moment. He's got to do this all on his own. When does he light it up? Malucelli's going to have a dig first, I think, in the bright yellow. Let's wait and see. Yolo Cometa with Giovanni Leonardi is also as part of the mix here. There he is in fourth wheel. Nobody wants to make the jump. Still too many turns to take. Here's the last of them, or nearly. Oh my goodness, it's a double phaser that will finally open us up. And well, will Jasper Philipsen go for it? He's got no choice but to have a dig. Right now, leaflets are all over the place. Stay safe, everybody. Ball looming large. She's on the case here. Malucelli's getting animated, but Philipsen picks it up. Is he going to lead in Case Ball? He's going to come out into the wind in a few hours' time, but Philipsen's going to take it all the way, and does so. Brilliant work by him. Fourth stage win of this race. The green jersey was never more deserved. That was very technical and beautifully delivered.
Great finish to the Presidential Tour of Turkey, that one. Exciting. We had all elements there. It was about positioning into that final kind of phase of corners, 1,800 metres to go. It doubled back in itself, and really it was a fight the whole way. I thought Astana trying to play the card there of just kind of letting that wheel go. In this type of finish, it was always going to be, very, very difficult to pull that off. But Case Paul, maybe looking back on it, should have stayed on his teammate's wheel and maybe taken it on from the front. But yet again, Carlton, Philipsen looks so easy. It's the way he looks behind. Normally when the sprint unfolds like this, you just focus in the line, but it's constantly there again. Are you still there? Are you still there? You're coming past. Head and shoulders above everybody else, these two. But I've got maybe the only way that Case Ball was going to beat Philipsen today was by maybe going first and trying to get Philipsen to go past him instead of the opposite way around. But I think the way that Philipsen rode that finish today was spot on. He realised that, I think it was Gazzoli there that was trying to lead out ball. When Kay's ball let that wheel go, Philipsen just nipped round and straight onto the wheel of him.
That was a bit of class. No panic at all. There were so many circumstances there, Brian, with the twists and turns, that I thought that Philipsen might find himself out of position, but there was no panic. He just waited, and when the road opened up for him, he owned it.
He did. It seemed quite easy in the end, and he was totally on it. What Astana tried to do there, he was straight round Kay's ball when he let the wheel go, and straight onto the wheel of Gazzoli, and slim pickings for everybody else. Number 19 for Jesper Philipsen, and I think he'll be happy with that.
Certainly would. Well, we have loved it, and as a young lad saying, can I have a bidon? And he'd already got one. Somebody else handed it to him. How sweet is that? Philipsen takes it ahead of Casepol, Lenardi and Malicelli both in the frame. Nico Dents finishing in 5th place ahead of Alvaro Hodja. Looked good in that approach. Dupont, Lutsenko, our champion, Colnago and Arvanaitu. Congratulations to Alexei Lutsenko, who wins the Tour of Turkey. Jesper Philipsen takes the points jersey along with, crucially, 4 stage wins, Brian. He could have had even more.
Yep, he second yesterday, spoiled by a great win from Givine, and then that very tricky finish there. Nice to see Nico Dines up there, 5th place. Matt Walls slowly getting back, not back to where he can be, but this year I think, what can you do to stop him? Very few people have. What an incredible year, 19 victories. His team have ridden pretty much all day today. But I have to say I've been pretty impressed with the Case Ball in this race. He's been sprinting well.
Agreed. It's been a great race actually, Brian. We've seen some amazing terrain, and of course the architecture and geography are always there to beguile, but the racing itself, we've had some pretty dramatic finishes, and a lot of Babadag itself, I think we'll be seeing more of it, Brian, as a climber and a test. I hope it brings more mountain men to this part of the world.
Yeah, in the broadcast I said it maybe not. If you asked any riders, would you like to go up that climb again, I think categorically it would be 100% no, but it was a bit of a spectacle. And I think it's a climb that's here to stay. When they had that climb at El Mali in the Gogo Belly, they stayed for a few years and then they kind of changed it, but I think that climb's here to stay for a few years.
Looks like the lead may well have melted in some of the heat. It was white hot finish for this man, wasn't it, today?
He's lost his bike. He's looking for his bike, isn't he?
He might be. Talk us in, Brian.
Well, you didn't see what Astana were trying to do. This was coming up just before the finish. This is the last sequence here, the last couple of 100 metres, and it was a case of he opens up, he looks behind, he accelerates again, then he looks behind yet again. Case ball still there. He's just not making any impression whatsoever. It's just so comfortable the way that he's winning these days. And number 19, and very happy with that one. Like
sure he should be. I mean, 4 wins in this race, Brian. That's dominant.
And it's he's been going well all year. When you got to remember what he did in Paris-Roubaix as well. He's been going well pretty much consistently through the whole year.
Bu sloganlar medya sponsorlarımız TRT, Alem FM, Lig Radyo yarışın tüm heyecanını ve burada yaşadığımız muazzam heyecanı sizlere ulaştırdılar. Teşekkür ediyoruz. Medya sponsorlarımızla birlikte organizasyonun geniş bir ulusal ve uluslararası erişim ağına ulaşmasına katkı sağlayan
Let's have a look back at that last kilometre then, with some of the twists and turns, confirmation of how the points competition panned out. Here we are, Brian, better view of it.
Yeah, at this stage, just look here when it's Gazzoli brings Kay's ball. Watch Phillipson straight past. He realised that what was happening here. Kay's ball just opens up the gap, straight past. No hesitation whatsoever. He was totally dialed into this. Not everybody would have made those kind of short accelerations, but that was important then. But then Kay's ball was on the case of Phillipson. Phillipson always looking round about to see what the situation was. And he was in the perfect situation. You could see right from the bottom of the climb that he wanted to be towards the front of Arrow Hodge. Good to see him make that effort here, but this was a case where Phillipson constantly, this is more like a track sprint than anything else, just didn't want to be kind of dive bombed into this last corner, and he just kind of waves there, just so that it's just slow down. This corner's coming up, it's kind of really bumpy. You don't want to kind of slip out. We've seen people slip out here in the past into the final phase of corners. It opens out, Gazzoli out the corner. It's just a case of waiting. When he goes here and then he starts looking behind, no one's matching him. It's Kay's ball was just on a hiding to nothing, unfortunately. Many people have been in that position this year. 19 victories for Jasper Philipsen, and we're very well delivered there.
Beautifully done. Jay Vine is our mountains man. In the end, he takes it by 6 points from Alexei Lutsenko. Got himself in the break to make sure that he would be in the red jersey at the end of today. Oyola well placed within that competition, but he was hoping to hold on to be the Turkey Sprint Treasures classification leader. But Verwilt was in the break, doubled up 2 of those intermediate sprints that bring that white jersey under his belt on the penultimate day in the final. Nice work by Tartiletto Isorex. Alexei Lutsenko is our champion. He wins by a margin of 26 seconds from Ben Zvihoff of Borough-Hansgrohe. Tejeda 1 and 3 for Astana then, with Lipovic and Badilati making up your podium. What a wonderful race we have had, and a great champion. Well, Lutsenko made it count on Babadag, and there were some enormous gaps up there. In fact, there's only 4 riders really in the frame at the end of that day. But Zvihoff nearest man to him and kept, I guess, the competition alive. Tejeda was also up there along with Lipovic and Badilati, a man who's got a very good finish at the end of races such as this. Well, yesterday we had our drama into Izmir. That stage often coming earlier in the race, but over the top and down into town, and Jay Vine making sure that he got a stage win to add to his King of the Mountains jersey. Every competition's has had its own character here, Brian, and you'd expect that, of course. Philipsen, the most dominant winner, I think, of all of them, despite the fact he had to wait, of course, and complete the task. But Jasper Philipsen in that points jersey, I guess that was the most predictable result. Unfortunately, the battle between Jay Vine and Lutsenko did not rage, because that was decided on Tuesday into Babadag.
Yeah, but then we wouldn't have seen that stage yesterday with Jay Vine. It's swings and roundabouts. I'd like to have seen Jay Vine on the form that he's got at the moment. Healthy all the way through the race, but just wasn't to be. These are the top 2 in this race come the points classification, first and second. Konagi did take that green jersey. He's a little bit kind of further back, and still another good performance, top 10 performance from him. So, but when it comes to this man in sprint finish, he's very difficult to beat, and he's proven that this year.
Well, we're just waiting to hear from our stage winner here. We might hear from Lutsenko. He's not overly talkative, but I'm sure that Jasper Philipsen would like to spare us his thoughts after another stage win for himself, so we shall wait. Just counting our blessings, you know, Brian. The fact that this race has been brought to us here in the autumn is something very, very special. I'm glad that they indeed decided to do it, but also that we've had such beautiful weather. It's been a glory, hasn't it? The UCI Track Champions League is back. Experience 5 rounds of back-to-back action live and on demand on Discovery Plus, where the best track cycling champions will compete in sprint and endurance races. Enhance your experience with the new and improved UCI Track Champions League app, where you can view rider profiles, exclusive live data and onboard cameras. Join the new fan zone as well and compete with fans from across the globe in special quests and challenges. And also, of course, watch new and exclusive cycling films and documentaries on GCN+. We've got Jasper Philipsen for you.
Jasper, this morning you said the finale today was complicated but exciting. Was it less complicated than people imagined?
Oh, it was still complicated. I think it was good that we did a little bit of a recon, and all the guys from the team knew what they had to do, and they all did a perfect job, amazing job to position us well. And yeah, in the end, we just had to stay safe and do my sprint in the final 300 meter.
Was it actually ideal for you, considering the shape you have now and your capacity to climb before sprinting?
Sorry?
Your capacity to climb before sprinting these days. Was it ideal for you?
Yeah, I like these kind of finishes. They're quite hard. You're already at the limit before you have to start sprinting, and condition is still good. So I wanted to show it and take another win. It's always nice.
Points classification winner, and you have won 4 stages, 1 out of 2. Is that a big Tour of Turkey for you?
Yeah, sure. I think the goal was to win stages, and we had a good team here to try to help towards this goal. So I think we can look back at the successful Tour of Turkey and a successful season in general, and we're gonna take some time off now and enjoy.
Successful season with 19 victory. It's the biggest number of the past 10 years. How good is that?
Yeah, really nice. I think it's something I work hard for with the team together, and we all look at the same direction and have the same goals, and then it's possible. And I think we have to build up for the next season and trying to continue like this. That's the goal.
Official.
Thank you.
And I think we can add our congratulations to that, Brian. It's quite a tally.
Yep, as he said, in the last decades, nobody's won that many, 19. So, and there's been a lot of top riders we've had in those years.
Just trying to remember who it was that last held it. I was thinking Cancellara, but I don't think it was back in 2012.
I think one of the last riders from memory from me, I think, is it 2018? Ilya Viviani won 18.
Yeah. So the winningest rider in the last 10 years. Thank you so much for your company. The Tour of Turkey has been magnificent again. We've had a new climb in Babadag. We've got the winningest rider in one season with 19 victories, and Jasper Philipsen has taken 4 here. It's been a great race. Those of you heading off, we thank you for your company. For me, Carter Kirby and Brian Smith, stay safe.
Aşkın Bak bizlerle. Hoş geldiniz, şerefler verdiniz efendim. Destekleriniz çok kıymetli. Ve o zaman hazırsak başlıyoruz. Günün üçüncüsü. Alkışlarınızı lütfen esirgemeyin değerli dostlarımız. Günün üçüncüsü, the bronze medalist of the last stage of the Presidential Cycling Tour of Turkey.
From Eola Cometa, Giovanni Lonardi.
Giovanni Lonardi geliyor.
Giovanni Lonardi.
Cumhurbaşkanlığı,
Antalya'da ikinciliği var, buyurunuz.
Cumhurbaşkanlığı Destek ve Mali Hizmetleri Genel Müdürü Sayın Mehmet Tuncer. Buyurunuz efendim. Günün üçüncüsüne madalyayı takdim edecekler.
2019'da Antalya turunda genel klasman ikinciliği var. Yine Antalya turunda bir etap kazanmıştı Giovanni Lonardi. Tayvan turunda bir etap var. Tayland turunda bir etap var. Doğuda yarışmayı seviyor. Giovanni Lonardi.
Alkışlarınız geliyor. Tebrik ediyoruz. Ve sırada günün ikincisi. Sporcumuzu madalyasını Sayın Valimiz Davut Gül takdim edecekler. And now the silver medalist of the last stage of the Presidential Cycling Tour of Turkey. Ladies and gentlemen.
Evet, from Astana, he tried so hard this week, but he's coming again. The second of the stage from Astana, Kees Paul from Netherlands.
Astana, Kazakistan takımını temsil eden özel sporculardan Kees Paul bir kere daha sahnede günün ikincisi olarak büyük alkışlarla.
İkinci oldu, üçüncü oldu, dördüncü oldu, yine ikinci oldu, yine ikinci oldu. Kees Paul.
Buyurun Sayın Valim, teşekkür ediyoruz.
2016 Nokere Corse, bir Paris etabı, bir Türkiye turu etabı veremedik kendisine.
Büyük bir alkışla alalım mı Kees Paul için? Ve şimdi de etap birincimizde gerçekten çok iyi mücadele etti. Bugün bu yıl turdaki 4. zaferini aldı ve aynı zamanda da bu sezonun en başarılı sporcusu olarak bu yıla tarihte adını yazarken kendi kariyerinin 42. zaferini ve bu yılda 18. zaferini burada Türkiye'de elde etti değerli dostlarımız. And now it's time to call our winner of the last stage of the Presidential Cycling Tour of Turkey. Istanbul Sultanahmet. Ladies and gentlemen, the most successful rider of this year from office in Dukonik, Jasper Philipsen. Gençlik ve Spor Bakanımız Sayın Doktor Osman Aşkınbak. Buyurunuz.
Fransa turunda 7 etap, İspanya turunda 3 etap zaferi, Brugge Depan, 1 Fransa turunda yeşil mayo, Türkiye'de 3. kez yeşil mayoyu kazanıyor. Türkiye turunda 7. etap zaferi, Jasper The Master Philipsen.
Büyük alkışlar geliyor. Jasper Philipsen, the fourth winner of Türkiye this year. Bence daha büyük alkış gelir dostlar. Jasper Philipsen, Kees Paul, Giovanni Lonardi. All together please photo. Alkışlar geliyor 3 başarılı sporcumuza. Böylece 8. etapımızda da ilk 3'te İstanbul Sultanahmet etapımızın ilk 3'ünü tebrik ediyoruz. Thank you so much guys. Congratulations. Thank you. Çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Cumhurbaşkanlığı Destek ve Mali Hizmetleri Genel Müdürümüz Sayın Mehmet Tuncer, İstanbul Valimiz Sayın Davut Gül ve Gençlik ve Spor Bakanımız Sayın
Alexey, finally here we are. You are the overall winner. How do you feel?
I'm super happy. Yeah, I feel it's good. It's leather jersey. Day by day is more motivation for me and also for my team. And yeah, in the final, last race in the season, I'm very happy for bringing super good result. First for team and also for me.
Your team has tried to win the stage today as well.
Yeah, it's really motivation for win one stage, but case I did maybe 4 or 5 podium in this race. I think for next season. The kids try more win.
5 years ago, you were second and very disappointed. This time, no problem. You have won other stage races before. Where does the Tour of Turkey stand in your career?
Yeah. I remember 2018. I